live trackside from Daytona International Super Speedway. Thanks for joining us here tonight once again. Swift MotorSports, Airs Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series hits the high banks of Daytona International Super Speedway. Over 225 miles of racing action in store for these drivers. Heat and grip are going to be a huge factor here tonight. Going to be racing midday, the afternoon heat, and the sun going to be beating down on the track. You can already see track temperature 104 degrees in the Performance Motorsports Pole Award session. Drivers out there laying down those fast times. And Gary May, top of the speed charts for now. Quick time belongs to the 5:50.51 at the fast time in qualifying. And with race number 3 right in front of us, will we see a repeat winner for the first time this season? We watched last night as Bailey Dutton became the first Truck Series drivers to go back-to-back visits to victory lane. Can he do it here behind the wheel of the Xfinity rides? We're going to find out shortly as 2 minutes remain here in qualifying. Music going to fade into the background, and we will get to some of your qualifying times over there left-hand side of your screen. And, well, we thought we were going to bring you the times, but looks like timing and scoring having a little bit of a hiccup, so we're going to kick it old school style as we normally do. 50:49. Now the quick time for Gary May, still top of the speed charts. John Wimbish, the solid run last night in the Truck Series, looking to back it up with a good run here tonight. He's inside of the top 5 with his qualifying effort. New quick time belongs to the fast Ford Mustang, front of the field. Ray Lane gonna go top of the speed charts. 50:36. Now the fast time here in qualifying. Only about half of the field out there qualifying. Looks like most of these drivers just willing to start wherever in the pack. Restrictor plate racing, super speedway racing. As long as you're in the pack, you're in good shape. So not so much more than bragging rights here on the line. The Performance Motorsports Pole Award session, and it's just about to come to a close. Todd Cray made an attempt, but does not get there. Ray Lane will take your Performance Motorsports Pole Award. And with that, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Head trackside for your national anthem. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof
Backtrack side, pre-race festivities already behind us. Drivers making their way to the starting grid, ready to kick things off for tonight's quick trip 225. 90 laps of racing in front of these Xfinity Series drivers. One of the cleanest seasons we've seen by far. Excuse us, by far in the history books. Only one caution for our first two races. That is absolutely unprecedented. We'll see how these drivers manage the draft here tonight. A lot can go on in a matter of seconds. When you're super speedway racing, we'll see how these drivers navigate the trouble. We'll see how they maintain speed and pit road speed, most importantly, during those green flag pit stops. A lot on the line. We'll see who gets it done. We'll jump a little closer to the track as drivers begin to make their way. And we await the word to go green flag racing here tonight. The boss man in the flag stand ready to call down to our good buddy Joshua Norwood behind the pace car once again here tonight for Swift Motorsports. Looks like we're looking for one more driver to make their way through inspection. John McMillan Sr. indeed going to make to his position before the clock winds down to 0. Word to the pace car. Let's fire it off. Let's get rolling. You can hear already in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the quick trip 225, starting inside row number 1 behind the wheel of that fast number 44 Hyper Racing Machine. Ray Lane back to the point once again. Todd Cray fast as always. The 22 gonna start from second. Row number 2 here tonight from Daytona. The 17 of Tommy Haynes. The 32 of Darren Clement. Dave Seats and Cody Sleeper in row 3. Row number 4 here tonight in the quick trip 225. The 28 machine of Jason Branch, followed by the 5 of Gary May. John Wimbish, Shane Bliss. Round out your top 10. Cuban Missile Rocket Roy Fernandez going to start inside row number 6 with the 23 of Kevin Burrows just to his outside and then back in row number 7. Inside the 62 machine, Stephen Ayers Jr. just to his outside. The rookie, can he turn his seasons around? He's had a little rough go. We'll see how Romney gets the job done here tonight behind the wheel of that number 7 machine. Starting from the 14th position, Bailey Dutton gonna have to come deep in the field if he's gonna want to visit victory lane for the second time in 2 weeks. He's got a fast 15 beside him. John McMillan Jr., Anthony Keys, John McMillan Sr. back in row 9, rounding out your top 20. Jerry Cochran III and Brandon Freeze. That's gonna do it for your starting lineup. Big tip of the cap to race officials and admins up in the booth tonight with us. Andy Starcher and Don Kidder, ready to watch these drivers unleash the beast for the first time tonight. Pace car in. We're ready to roll to the restart zone on the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies for the first time in the quick trip 225. Everybody smooth through turn 1, still side by side down the back stretch. Look for these drivers, this field, to stay double file for quite some time. Nobody just going to roll over and give the position, so we'll see how tightly the field stays as they work through 3 and 4 for the first time. Double file, 4, 5, 6 rows deep. back to the line. Todd Cray with the advantage. Will he get it at the line? Coming back on the bottom is Lane, but Cray will lead lap number 1. So we're going to see this a lot tonight. We're going to see a lot of accordion effects. As you can tell there, the outside lane lost a little momentum through 1 and 2. Now surging back on the backstretch again is Cray to the high side. Look for these lines just to continue that nonstop fight of back and forth. One line to get a little bit of energy, a little bit of a run, and they'll make a little headway. It's all a matter of, you see those drivers 3-4 cars back. The 01 of Cody Sleeper, we're going to keep our eye on him. Can the MGM Gaskets 01 finish things off where he runs the majority of the race? He's been inside the top 5 for a lot of these races, just haven't been able to walk away from the track with the solid finish that he deserves. We'll see if it happens here tonight. And Lane wanting to go to the rear. Lane's had enough at the front. He's seen what he's wanted to see, and he's going to head to the rear of the field. Ooh, dicey. Got to be careful getting up. Ooh, that could have been real bad. That's going to shake things up here in the back. Drivers losing touch with this lead pack. You can see Kevin Burrows, the 23. Hanging on the 7 of Logan Romney as well. John McMillan Jr., there's the gap. There's the mix-up. When Lane decided to go back in the field, all the way to the rear now. From the front to the rear in less than a lap. I don't know if that was a calculated move. I don't know he meant to go all the way back there. But he almost went back to the hauler. Very sketchy. Through 3 and 4 last time around, we'll rejoin the battle at the front of the field. We'll drop the timing and scoring as we cross the line this time around. Lap number 5 will go on the board still out front. Darren Clement going to become our 3rd different race leader of the night. He was pushing that 22, saw the opportunity to drop to the bottom, took the chance, and now leads the race, leads the pack. Back into turn number 1, Cody Sleeper now takes over the lead. The pack on the high side, 3, 4, 5 cars lined up in a row here. They're going to have to make up a lot of headway, and Cray pulls to the high side. Interesting to see there, Todd Cray giving up that inside comfort zone, going to jump out there, lead that outside pack. I mean, there's a lot going on here tonight at Daytona already. Both lines not wanting to give. Drivers side by side still. 5 laps completed. Lap number 6 now on the board. Ray Lane somehow has been able to catch and stay with the drivers single file, looking to play it a little bit safe early here tonight in the quick trip. 225 for the Airs High Racing Paints Xfinity Series. Drivers going to motor pass down the camera. Man, that's some speed right by the camera, man. I don't know who put it out there, but job well done. Beautiful angle. Off of turn 4, we'll roll. Let's watch the pack on board now with the 18 machine of Shane Bliss. Fast Ford Mustang sitting inside the top 10. Get across the line there, make up a little bit of ground on that. Number 3 machine of Roy Fernandez. Fernandez up 2 positions from where he qualified. So you want to run in a pack, you want to do it at 190 plus miles an hour. This is what it looks like. We're going to jump around because we've got a bunch of different camera angles to bring you here tonight. Let's go on board now inside the car with Gary May started back in the 8th position, now sitting in 4th. 3rd driver in line, outside lane here, trying to make some things happen, make some things work. We'll see if he's able to make some headway and slot himself back in down bottom, or if we're going to see a 3-wide situation at any point in time here tonight. Maybe a little early for that 3-wide. I think, don't put it past these drivers. They're known to do it. But it looks like the majority of the field comfortable to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and just log some laps here. No fast fixes, no quick repairs for these drivers. With Swift Motorsports, so there's no redo, there's no reset. You do have sets of tires, but that's about it. So drivers may be being a little bit more methodical with how they're approaching tonight's race. Stephen Ayers Jr. right there, the 62 machine looking good. The Ayers iRacing paints 62, a little bit of a now you see me, now you don't action. The Magic Man, the 23 of Kevin Burrows, disappearing after a moment. It's going to fix itself on out. We'll head back up front. Still side by side, 5-6 rows deep here tonight in the Quick Trip 225 for the Ayers iRacing Paints Xfinity Series. And we can expect to see racing like this pretty much all night long. If there's one thing I know about these Swift Motorsports drivers, it's that they lay it all on the line, lap after lap. It doesn't matter if they're on the lead lap, 1 lap down, 10 laps down. They're going to give it their absolute all. We've watched it unfold so far here in season number 6 in both the Truck Series as well as behind the wheel of these Xfinity rides. And just as I say how these drivers mix it up constantly, looks like a handful of them, I'm not going to say wanting to roll over, but looks like a handful of them saying, you know what, let's just go ahead and get in a line here, make a handful of laps, get this thing over with. Great run so far. Let's go back through the pack. What do you say we jump back here? Roy Fernandez trying to make something work with the Black Rifle Company. Stars and Stripes number 3. High side of the racetrack. Sandwiched in between Jason Branch and Stephen Ayers Jr. Not a lot that 3 can do right now. A little bit of a window of opportunity to drop to the low side if he wanted to. But unless you're going to stick it 3 wide, when you get to be that 3rd, 4th car in line, you're almost now at the mercy of your line. You know, there's really nowhere for you to go. There's really nowhere for you to pull. The driver in front of you can't go anywhere. The driver behind you can't really make any moves. You got to watch those sudden jumps, though, especially corner exit turn 2, corner exit turn 4. That look to go 3 wide. We've watched drivers sail it off in. Whoa, big wiggle out of the 14. Big wiggle, big moment. Dave Seats, man, out of shape getting into turn 3. You see what it's cost that inside lane. Down on the bottom. Giving up a little bit of a ground here. Another great camera angle here brought to you by all the guys and girls back at the Turn 3 Racing Network, getting with some of the drivers' teams, track officials to get these great onboard and trackside cameras provided to you here tonight. Great job by everybody back in the production department. Amazing job looking back now from Dave Sheets. Shane Bliss a little further in the field. The Kroger number 18 Ford Mustang falling back to the 14th position, down 4 spots from where he qualified. Bailey Dutton, another one of our drivers that has dropped through the field. Let's check in with last week's race winner. There you can see. Interesting approach here tonight. Behind the wheel of his Toyota Supra. Dutton just hanging out. We'll see how long he decides to hang out here tonight. Much different approach from what we've seen out of Sleeper. Sleeper has been kind of, well, the sleeper in the field. Started, mainly outside of the top 10 and just slowly worked his way inside of the top 5, inside of podium positions at times in the course of our first 2 races at Homestead Miami Speedway as we opened things up in the season. Great run there. Here tonight, though, different little look out of that 01 team. They've been at the front of the field all race long. They look to stay here. Leading that outside lane has the 28 of Jason Branch. Seasoned veteran is Branch, but will the difference in manufacturers have any issues for that outside lane? Camaro being pushed by a Ford. We'll see. Whoa, and Branch going to go way up the racetrack. Up the racetrack in 3 and 4, losing 2 car lengths. That's going to allow that inside lane to really gain some momentum. And Todd Gray will pull 2 cars past that outside lane. Now only 5 drivers flirting with that outside lane at the moment. Everybody else lined up nice and neat, orderly down on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like more than half of the field can tend to just ride right here, get this first round of green flag pit stops behind them. Still out front, inside lane, Todd Gray showing the way as drivers make their way back around the track, back into turn number 3 will roll. More drivers looking to the high side now. Got an extra car out there. That's going to make some difference. Believe it or not, a 1-car difference in your line changes the energy of that lane tremendously. High side especially seems, or at least to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, if we've got any fellow racers out there joining us here tonight in TV Land, you can kind of stay in the gas a little more on that high side. Even when you're the second, third, fourth car in line, it seems like you're just able to stay on the gas a little bit more. Yes, it's a wider way around the track. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but it seems like you're just able to stay in the throttle a lot longer or a lot more when you're running that second or third lane here at Daytona. Running that third lane, though, you open up the opportunity for somebody to stick their nose in, create that third lane, put you in danger up there next to that outside wall. So got to be careful here on how you manage this outside lane. Cody Sleeper doing a fantastic job. He's going to get credited with leading that last time around. So yet another lead change here tonight at the Quick Trip 225, brought to you by the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series. And Logan, well, we wish he could be racing with us as well. Big moment here, front of the field. Jason Branch out of shape. The Navy sponsored number 28 out of shape there in 3 and 4. Big wiggles and slides right down to the bottom, right in front of that 17 of Tommy Haynes. Close right there, getting to the bottom. Could the fuel window start to be opening up here tonight? Already 18 laps of green flag racing behind us. Working lap number 19 off of turn number 2. Looks like an exodus from that top lane. Looks like drivers fighting for the bottom, and that looks like green flag pit stops. Well, 28 trying to make a lane here for the 3 to get down. Doesn't look like Fernandez got the memo. He's going to stay to the high side here. Stephen Ayers Jr. thought about putting that 62 down, and there goes drivers to pit road. Clement, Cray, Romney, all to pit road. Dutton's already been on pit road. Cody Sleeper going to take advantage and take over the top spot, bottom of the racetrack. Preferred line here. Green flag pit stops underway. So it looks like drivers getting about 20 laps of fuel on a run here. Interesting to see how long this pack goes. If they can go 22, 23 laps on the fuel, it looks like they're going to run at least another one. And it can be the big difference here. If you look at it, 20 laps, you do 20 lap runs, that's 4 stops. That gets you to lap number 80. 20, 40, 60, 80. Right? That 80 gets you all the way to the end, but you don't have to fill it full of fuel. You don't need another 20 laps. You only need a half a can. Do you double stint at some time? It is Daytona. Do you worry about those 4 fresh tires? What do the crew chiefs have in store? What's the strategy? How much fuel saving is going on back in the pack? Look at Tommy Haynes, 4th driver in line. He's going to be out of the gas a lot more than the drivers leading the pack. Cody Sleeper burning way more fuel out there, leading this inside lane than what Haynes or Seats or Wimbish back in the pack are wasting or using. Still running the same speed, but you only got to do it at half throttle. I mean, so you're saving fuel. Brandon Freeze trying to pull his best Austin Hill impression. You can see that 21 machine making some headway on the high side. Little argy-bargy at the front of the field, man, forcing their way down to the bottom of the 87 of Anthony Keys. Going to get the Serve Pro 87 down to the bottom. Possibly looking to pit this time around. No, driver's going to stay out yet another lap. And this could be big, too. Right, if drivers can go to lap 25, you're looking at pitting a second time at lap 50, a third time at 75. You're going to have to take a little more fuel. But you're going to be able to take tires every time. Interesting. We're going to see how it all unfolds here tonight. Still clean and green all night long in the Quick Trip 225. Brought to you by Swift MotorSports and the Ayers Eye Racing Paints. If you're in the market, you need a new wrap, you're looking to make your car a little more sexy out there. That's right, I called it sexy. If you're looking to bring sexy back to pit road, look no further. They've got all your helmets, your liveries, your machines can be wrapped without a single problem. An amazing stable of designers over there at Ayers Eye Racing Paints. If you're in the market for a new ride, look no further than Ayers Eye Racing Paints. So from 15th on back, you're looking at about 5 drivers pitting on lap number 19. That was over 5 laps ago. Drivers looking ahead to pit road this time by. We've got a mix of bags. Whoa, big moment here. Sliding through pit road, and Cody Sleeper going to miss the cone. Sleeper going to miss the cone. The 87 with problems getting woed up as well. Kevin Burrows now going to take over the race lead for the first time here tonight. The 23 will lead a lap at Daytona. But a big mess getting to pit road. Sleeper, Keys, Freeze, all with issues coming to pit road. Roy Fernandez looked like he got in there cleanly, but a little puff of smoke may have been a little too quick. Drivers look to be quick again. The 14 gonna lock them up and go around. Big trouble now. The 5 into the 18. Trouble on pit road. Big trouble on pit road. That's gonna bring, oh man, that's gonna bring a mess to the running order when it's all said and done. Multiple drivers with trouble. We're gonna get back to what will be the eventual race lead here. Todd Cray with Darren Clement and Jason Branch right there in tow. Well, we apologize. Branch is about 3 seconds back here. So a dynamic duo, if you will. 22-32 packed up, has the 7 of Logan Romney, the rookie, listed off of the lead lap here tonight, but has him right here in tow, waiting in the wings. Can he grab a hold of him right there? And he's, yeah, not going to be able to. Man, that's going to be tough. Anthony Keys looked like he might have been able to snatch a hold. The drivers in front of him, but unable to get the sniff of the draft. Handful of drivers with problems, with issues. Amazingly, nobody getting popped for a pit road penalty. Absolutely phenomenal job. I have no idea how Sleeper didn't catch a penalty on the... Oh, and we're hearing word indeed. Yeah, Sleeper served a 30-second stop in the box penalty, putting him way back in the field now, running in 17th position. He's going to need some of that Sleeper magic to work out in his favor if he wants to get back to the front of the field. And from the back to the front, look at Bailey Dutton. We talked about him just kind of hanging out in the back just before the round of green flag pit stops began. And here he is, now battling with a handful of drivers. Jason Branch, Ray Lane, Anthony Keys, Kevin Burrows, all right here in this pack, all racing for positions, all looking to break in to that final spot on the podium, battling for third position. Wonder if these guys have thought about maybe, let's get this just lined up. We've got 5 of us. We got another 3 closing in pretty quickly behind us. Let's all just get lined up. Let's run down those top 2. If I'm a crew chief, I'm on the horn to the spotter right now. Hey, get us down there. Get us all lined up. We got to close in. We got over a 5-second gap right now. We can't be playing around. We got to get together. We got to make it work. We got to put in these lap times. So the green flag pit stop shook up the field, but not the way we anticipated. Big troubles coming onto pit road for a handful of drivers. Cody Sleeper gonna miss the cone. Pit road violation for Sleeper. Somehow everybody else on the brakes and able to make pit road speed. We've seen the 15 with trouble coming to pit road, locking up the rear tires. We've seen the 5 of Gary May with contact on the pit road as well. Let's take a look at this 5 there. You can see crinkled front end of his Chevy Camaro riding solo for the moment. And at a restrictor plate track, that is just, it's not where you want to be. Finding yourself alone on the track at any time is not a good feeling. In May, he's going to need some help from here. We're going to go back to the big pack of drivers. Looks like things getting shaken up a bit here. Maybe a bit of a moment. Is everybody now single file? Giving up about a second that last lap. Something may have went on. Well, it looks like I think we're going to see what happened here. Let's go check the replay. There you can see Stephen Ayers Jr. loose down on the apron. Jumping on board there with Kevin Burrows, one of our only camera shots. Drivers doing an amazing job working their way through it. Can we see that one more time, guys? Let's take a look one more time here. Yeah. Woo. Big moment there for Stephen Ayers Jr. too. You can see him catching it in the rearview mirror once again. An amazing white knuckle moment there for Stephen Ayers Jr. Able to keep the car underneath him. Gonna lose a handful of seconds on the stopwatch to your race leaders. But still running on the track. I'll take that over into the outside fence any day. Top 2 have broken away almost 7 seconds of an advantage now. They've got help from 2 lap machines behind them, the 7 of Logan Romney and the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Both early trouble here tonight. Romney listed 1 lap down Haynes' seats. Also 1 lap down the 18 of Shane Bliss. Get ahead to pit road. Looks like a little bit early here. Seats onto pit road. Let's jump around a little bit. A lot of different action to show you here tonight. Bailey Dutton leading the second pack of drivers. Looks to be 7 drivers in this second pack here. Dutton, Lane, Branch, Burrows, Wimbish, Keys, McMillan Jr. all lined up in a row now. Look for these drivers to make some headway on the gap between themselves and your top 2 runners here tonight. They've got to stay organized. They've got to stay packed up. They got to stay tucked in here. Jason Branch looks like he may be having a little bit of struggle staying behind that Hyperdrive Racing number 44 of Ray Lane. And Lane with a good effort here tonight. Talk about front to the back to the front. Walked away with the Performance Motorsports Pole Award here tonight. Lane, about lap number 5, elected to duck down on the apron. Couldn't quite rejoin the track. Couldn't merge back on to the track until almost the middle of 3 and 4. Big moment early in tonight's race. Contact avoided, but Lane went all the way to the rear of the field. Was in danger of losing the lead draft, losing the pack early here tonight. Now working lap number 34, halfway down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Lane sitting in the 4th position, trying to help Bailey Dutton get this pack of 7 cars back relevant in the picture for the race lead. We are hearing word 18 of Shane Bliss back behind the wall. His day is done. Early exit here tonight from the field. Shane Bliss going to walk away with the final spot in the running order. The Ford Mustang succumbing to mechanical issues. Looks like Bliss will walk away empty-handed. You know what? We're going to go back to the big pack. We're going to go back here. Not much happening up there with your race leaders. We're going to keep an eye on them. If anything begins to develop between Todd Cray and Darren Fleming, with Logan Romney and Tommy Haynes in tow, we'll let you know. But right here, this is about the only battle, if you can call it that, on the racetrack at this point in time. This juncture in tonight's Quick Trip 225, brought to you by the Airs Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series. Drivers just trying to catch up. Drivers just trying to reel in those top 2. Log some laps just about halfway here tonight. We're less than 10 laps away from the halfway point, so you cannot have any trouble from here on out. This thing has been clean and green all night long, and I would expect to see a very long green flag run to the end. We'll see if some of the pit strategies bring the field closer together. Out front, showing the way back into turn number 1, and here it is. Drivers that had those pit road woes in danger. falling off the lead lap there. You can see Cody Sleeper as well as Roy Fernandez, bottom of the racetrack. They have the 62. I believe that's the 62 in line. 72. We apologize, Jerry Cochran III. Having a rough go here tonight. Cochran looks to be struggling to even keep pace here tonight. I wonder if he is maybe down a cylinder. Tough break, tough run here. Drivers mixing things up with your race leaders. This lead pack, or this front pack being led by your race leaders, starting to grow. And that's going to put that second pack at a big disadvantage. You can see it now, almost a non-second advantage. So even staying single file, that second pack just unable to make up any ground. Just kind of stuck back there with some sails grabbing some wind, man. Very interesting to see how this is unfolding. Top two, 9-second advantage. Next 7 in the line, right here, working their way around the 5 of Gary May, bottom of the racetrack. May trying to stay out the way. And just 5 laps away from the halfway point. But any moment now, we should see drivers beginning to make their way down pit road for their second round of green flag pit stops. Most of the field look to only take fuel only under their first stop of the night. Will the second stop be a 4-tire stop, a 2-tire stop, no tire stop? If I'm here somewhere in this pack right here and I'm on the horn with the crew chief, if I'm on the radio, I'm letting them know, hey, I'm letting them know how the car feels, packed with the air moving around, how I feel about doing just a fuel only stop again, and then getting those fresh tires at the end of the race instead of double stinting at the end of tonight's Quick Trip 225. Some crew chiefs are going to elect to take maybe right sides this time, left sides next time. You can split up the strategy. It can be quite varying, so a lot of different things can go down here. Green flag pit stops just around the corner. We'll rejoin your race leader, Todd Cray, off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval. The Busch number 32 of Darren Clement has been glued to his rear bumper this entire second green flag stint. Drivers lined up behind him, 5 in a row, all off of the lead lap. Todd Cray doing just an amazing job here tonight on and off pit road. Really gained a ton of ground. So an amazing job on and off pit road for both Cray as well as Darren Clement. But some big names. Some big names gonna need some help. Fernandez, Sleeper, Haynes. What about Romney, the rookie? He's had great runs, but just trouble has seemed to find him these first 3 weeks. Can somehow he turn his night around? He's going to need a caution flag to help him, but we're going to stay clean and green right at the halfway point here tonight. Green flag pit stops around the corner. Can't get much better than this. Beautiful sunny day here in Daytona, Florida. And absolutely an amazing racetrack. If you haven't had a chance to go, enjoy the fan zone and the end zone. An amazing atmosphere here at Daytona. Two drivers from the second pack going to head to pit road this time around. Bailey Dutton, Ray Lane to pit road. One round of green flag pit stops behind us. Now our second underway here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. Clean and green all night long. We thought we were going to see a long run here tonight. A lot of green flag racing. There you can see race leaders. And big moment for Fernandez. Big lockup of the wheels. 7 of Romney almost into the rear. That could have went bad very quickly. Everybody got to navigate their way through it and into pit road. Kevin Burrows going to lead this 4-pack of drivers to the front of the field. The Valvoline machine, John Wimbish, right there, now up 7 positions from where he qualified. He's going to move into second. John McMillan Jr. sitting in third. We haven't really talked about that 15 car very much here tonight. Interesting that John McMillan Jr. has kind of been off of our radar for half of tonight's race. Typically, McMillan, one of the drivers that we're constantly talking about. How about the 28 of Jason Branch? He had a big moment there early in the race. It fell back a little bit here. Still running with some good company. We'll see how the second round of green flag pits go for these drivers. Looking back here, Darren Clement on and off pit road just a little bit quicker than Todd Cray. That's going to break up that duo for just a moment. Cray starting to reel them back in. So 32 to 22 will work together once again. Bailey Dutton, Ray Lane split up now. Big mishap coming to pit road for those two drivers. And that's really going to put Dutton at a disadvantage. You can see right now the 28 all alone, 26 all alone on the racetrack. And again, this is that lonely feeling you'd never want to have. Because when the drivers behind you catch you, they're going to catch you at a substantial speed differential. So we'll see how he goes about it. Ray Lane, you can see right here, Lane all by himself as the lead drivers closing in quickly. That is your race leader, Kevin Burrows, starting to close in on this 4. And this is the trouble. Burrows, Wimbish, McMillan Jr., Branch all need to still come to pit road. But you gotta find a way to keep them behind you. And unfortunately, Ray Lane not able to do so. Bailey Dutton looking in the mirror now. Spotters on the horn, letting her know, hey, that lead pack, they're coming, man. You're going to have to do what you got to do. If you got to throw a bit of a block to slow them down, maybe throw a slight one. Let's be intelligently defensive here. Trying to keep ourselves on the lead lap. Because the race leaders still need to make their second green flag pit stops. And there it is. A few of them going to trickle to pit road. Jason Branch into the keys. Going to come to pit road. That's going to leave Burrows, Wimbish, and McMillan Jr. working together. Ray Lane in tow. Bailey Dutton sitting duck. For the moment, Lane to the top side with the race leaders. Look for Dutton to try to stay in line here. Ray Lane going to squeeze down in front of him. And no harm, no foul here, right? As long as they can stay tucked in line, as soon as these drivers do break for pit road, they're going to get their lap back immediately. It's going to be close when they get back around to where they fall in line. With the eventual race leaders, Todd Cray and Darren Clement. Just a flip-flop there between the 32 and the 22. Darren Clement now being pushed around the track by Todd Cray. Burrows, Wimbish, and McMillan pushing the envelope here. They're going to stay out yet another lap. Last time to pit road on lap 25. They're going to get another 25 on the fuel and tires. Jason Branch struggling to get up to speed, and he has got race leaders closing in quickly. I think Branch may be okay, though. Oh, my goodness. Top 3 to pit road this time around. We do apologize about having to clear our throat a little bit there, but I think Branch may be all right. Let's go join that battle once again. Here he is, able to hang on with Ray Lane and Bailey Dutton for a moment here. The drivers heading to pit road did shake up this little 3-car pack that they've got working here. Looks like they're going to end up being 3rd, 4th, 5th on the racetrack if they can make this thing work and get back out in front. Clement and Cray easily going to go back to the point. Darren Clement out front showing the way here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Over halfway through tonight's quick trip to 25 for the Ayers iRacing Paints Xfinity Series. We have been clean and green all night long. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love. Let them know you appreciate all the great racing action, not just here tonight at Daytona, but all of the previous races in the future. Let them know you enjoy what they do each and every Tuesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to drop these drivers that thumbs up. And even though they stayed out for quite an extended stay, here we go. Let's take a look right here. Kevin Burrows, John Wimbish, John McMillan Jr. able to get back out in front of Anthony Keys, Ray Lane, Bailey Dutton, Jason Branch. So a fantastic job by those drivers to get back on track, get back going, and keep themselves in position for the race win. Still got to overcome quite a big deficit here tonight. Darren Clement, Todd Cray out to a 9.6 second advantage. Absolutely an amazing job by these top two. Long train of cars with them, and that's just going to help their cause. They're just going to continue to pile it on the stopwatch here. This thing's looking clean and green to the end. I do not foresee a caution here tonight. Unless something happens here late in the goings. You can see two drivers side by side there. That's Roy Fernandez on the outside looking for positions on the 72 of Jerry Cochran III. That isn't a position on the racetrack, but a position for track position. But a position for track position. Did I just... You heard it here. That's right. Position for position. Mark that one down. Week in, week out, these Swift Motorsports drivers never cease to amaze us. We are working over 300 laps now into season number 6, and we have only had one caution in this Xfinity series. How many leagues can say they have a series that has done over 300 laps of green flag racing with only one caution? Oh, wait. I'll have to give my email out because it's going to take you a while to find one. I promise you that. Top tier, top class here in the Swift Motorsports Ayers iRacing Paints Xfinity Series. You can find some of the best in the business doing it week in, week out, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You can find them on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. Laser scanned to millimeter precision tracks and cars. Doesn't matter what you want to drive, they got them all. We can slide in the dirt, rip the lip, or go catfishing in a midget sprint machine. How about those big block modifieds? You like open wheel racing? They've got those beasts from the Northeast. That's right, the wheel and modified machines right here on iRacing, as well as the rally trucks. That's right, you heard it. Stadium trucks, rally cross. We've got trucks, Xfinity rides, Cup cars, Formula One, IndyCar, whatever you want done, they've got it right here. That's why they are the #1 racing simulator in the world. Check them out. It's iRacing.com. Little shameless plug there for iRacing. You're welcome, gentlemen. I'll expect a check in the mail. You can make it out to... Well, never mind. We're just going to stop. End up biting off more than we can chew. Sometimes the brain gets to moving and the mouth just follows along. Whoa! Big moment here. Drivers jockeying for position, looking for that lucky dog, man. And 57 laps into tonight's Quick Trip 225 live from Daytona International Super Speedway. Who would have thought that the battle that was the biggest would be for the lucky dog position? Right, we've got 4 drivers all lined up right here behind your race leaders, making moves, trying to make something happen, trying to get themselves either back onto the lead lap or into that lucky dog position. Right now, that spot belongs to the #7 machine of Logan Romney. We talked about him needing to turn his race around. He has. He's inside the top 10, but still caught a lap down. Oh, big trouble now. Big trouble, and caution will fly. Big trouble as lap machines battle for that lucky dog position. Logan Romney in trouble. Roy Fernandez caught up. 3 drivers gonna bite the bullet on this one. Looks like, I believe the 21 also involved. Let's go back. Let's see what happened. And it looked like just a push gone wrong there. The 21 a little loose on the tail end of the 3 machine. Let's take one more look, guys. Can we cue that up one more? Yeah, just a little loose in 3. Tail end comes around up the track into the 3. Romney gets collected on the bottom of the racetrack. One more time. Do we got it, guys? Do we got one more? Take one more look at it here. There it is. Into Romney, into Fernandez, into the wall. Clean and green for the majority of tonight's race. We're going to see the first caution flag fly here on lap number 57. Pit road will be open this time around. What do your race leaders do? Gray and Clement last to pit road on lap 44. Looks like they're going to stay out. Burrows, Wimbish, McMillan Jr., Branch, Keys, all on the pit road. So different strategies here beginning to unfold with 30 laps to go in tonight's Quick Trip 225. We're going to take a brief commercial break. Pay a few of those sponsor bills. You know how that goes, but don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with all your green flag action live from Daytona International Speedway.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we bring you back in live trackside as promised, not missing any of the green flag action. To follow the field with the turn 3 drone cam here as they make their way through 3 and 4. Pace car lights out. Norwood ready to duck on out the way, and we will get back underway once again here from Daytona International Super Speedway. Drivers going to make their way off of turn number 4, and we're going to get set to roll here tonight. There you can see it now. Pace car gonna take that left-hand turn, and we are ready to roll, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Daytona. Field quickly single file at the front, working their way through 1 and 2. Only 2 drivers stuck to the high side. That's going to be Cody Sleeper, the 01, still listed off of the lead lap. Interesting to see these drivers jump single file so early on this restart. Still a very long way to go here tonight. We're going to cross the line and almost have a 15 plus car train single file bottom of the racetrack. We're going to go ahead and drop the timing and scoring back over there to the left hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. But only 10 drivers remaining on the lead lap, all of them packed up here at the front. A little mix on the fuel and tires, though. Right, we've got Darren Clement, Todd Cray, last to pit road back on lap number 44. Last to pit road on lap 59. Wimbish, Burrows, McMillan Jr., Keys, Branch, Haynes, all down to pit road under our first caution, our only caution of the night. So with the difference of fuel, how long will they be able to stay out? We're looking at the math, and they are going to have to stop. They will not make it to the end of tonight's race from where they pitted. So staying true to the strategy at the front of this field, Clement Cray in the lane, along with Bailey Dutton. They've made their bed. Right, they've got their pit stop figured out. They're going to have to stick to it. Bump drafting here at the front of the field. Todd Cray, that Black Rifle Coffee Company number 22 on the back end of Darren Clement, trying to push him out there, trying to get away from this field. But now with everybody single file, I don't think you're really going to be able to break away. It's going to take that round of green flag pit stops to really shake things up. And it's going to be a big one as well, because it's going to be with just about 10 laps to go. We're going to cross the line this time around. Lap number 66 will go on the board, and we will have just 25 laps remaining. In your top 4, they're going to have to pit here within the next 10 laps. Oh, man. The top 4 are going to have to pit within 10 laps. The rest of the field are going to have to pit with at least 10 to go. Man, this is... I don't know, man. Will Daytona be a fuel mileage race? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? A restrictor plate race comes down to fuel mileage. We've seen crazier happen. We're seeing some things take place here, not wanting to sit in the back. Outside lane. Motoring to the front with help from Dave Seats. Seats off of the lead lap, down multiple laps here tonight, but out there to help his teammate Burrows move to the front. Burrows making some headway on the high side. Two cars lined up, and they are heading to the front. Off of turn 2, Burrows with a good push from his teammate. That's what teammates are all about. He's down and out of the race with all intents and purposes. 9 laps down is seats right now. But you can see that 14 glued to his teammate's bumper. Burrows fighting for a race win. Teammate, I can promise you, at this point in time, that is not just his teammate, that's his best friend, that's his guardian angel. He's going to ride or die with his teammate for the rest of this race. I can guarantee you, you will not see that 14 come unglued from the 23. Burrow's going to pull even with Clement bottom of the racetrack once again. Todd Cray struggling to keep that outside lane moving. Lane backing the field up just a little bit here. Lane looks like he's backing up the field. Yes, indeed, backing up the field. We've got a handful of drivers to pit road. Clement, Cray, Lane, Dutton, Wimbish, McMillan Jr., Cody Sleeper. All on to pit road. Top 4 going to remain on the racetrack. A 3/4 of a second advantage for Kevin Burrows right now. Teammate having to duck out of line, get a little air. A little fresh air, cool down the engine a little bit. Big pushing got Burrows to the front. We've got a handful of lap machines in between here. The Serve Pro. 87 of Anthony Keys sitting 4th in line. Oh, and we've got more drivers to pit road. They're going to close that gap. They're going to come to pit road 1 lap later. 3 wide into pit road. We seen 3 wide tonight. We told you we were going to see 3 wide. Doesn't matter, it happened. Coming to pit road, we still seen it. I win. The Prime Energy drink number 17. Now lonely man out there on the racetrack when it comes to friends on the lead lap. He's here in a gaggle of cars that are all listed off the lead lap. Haynes, we're going to have a lonely roll down pit road. And I don't think he can make it to the end. He stopped on lap 60, even getting the best fuel that you could possibly get. That's only going to get you to about lap 80, 85. So I just don't see Tommy Haynes able to make this thing work out for him. We'll see how it all goes down, though. Kevin Burrows, Jason Branch out in front of Anthony Keys, Todd Cray, Bailey Dutton starting to close in. Let's take a look here. Let's jump back here. This is going to be a big battle. There's that pack of drivers that pitted 1 lap after Branch, or after Clement and Cray. And oh, there it is. Friends no more. Todd Cray says, I gots to go, but he's going to leave Clement high and dry in the sucker hole now. Clement with a pit road penalty finds himself not just in trouble on the scoring pylon, but in trouble on the racetrack. 3 wide, meet in the middle for a handful of corners. Drivers are going to get it sorted all out. Todd Cray able to take back over advantage of that inside lane. Take back the race lead. He's got Bailey Dutton right behind him. We talked about not talking about this 15 of John McMillan Jr. very much here tonight. Take a look at him now. The pay window has opened up, less than 20 laps to go. John McMillan Jr. fighting for a position inside of your top 3. Tommy Haynes with some lap traffic, but he's all alone. He's still got to make a pit stop. Ooh, Ray Lane, trouble on the track for Ray Lane. Ray able to corral the car. Big time moment there. We almost seen a second caution flag fly. Ray Lane all sorts of out of shape. Somehow corrals the car and gets it back underneath him. Works his way back onto pit road. And right behind the pit wall. Lane straight to the hauler. His day is done. Just around the corner from 15 to go. Some house cleaning in order here tonight. We started tonight's quick trip to 25 with 20 Ayers Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series drivers. We have still got 16 out on the racetrack, but only 9 remain on the lead lap. Stephen Ayers Jr. behind the wheel of that Ayers Eye Racing Paints 62 machine, listed as the last driver on the lead lap. There you can see him here in front of race leader Tommy Haynes. That's just how close he is to going a lap down, but Haynes playing it safe. This is what he needs to do. Haynes does not need to try to put him a lap down. Tommy may even want to start flirting with the idea of possibly giving up that second position in line and going back there being the tail or the trail car, allowing himself to save a little more fuel, because he's going to have to save every milliliter. I mean, he's going to have to save every drop that he possibly can. It's going to get close. It's going to get crazy. We're going to watch this thing finish on out. Let's jump back here with the battle. The big battles, we should say. Second all the way through 8. Packed up right here. Coming to the end of tonight's Ayers Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series Quick Trip 225 from Daytona International Super Speedway. Logan Romney out of the way, allowing the battle to continue as they make their way into 3. And there it is, Tommy Haynes to pit road. Tommy Haynes to pit road. Haynes not going to stand a chance here. Driver's going to easily work their way around as he's just now down and away out of his pit box. Tough. A little break here tonight for Haynes, but with this lead pack, right, we wondered if we were going to get this battle at the end of tonight's race for the race win, for the checkered flag. And here we are. What was once strung out, a quick caution, brought us all back together. A round of green flag pit stops after the caution really put this field all over each other. And now we got a battle on our hands. Top 7 drivers on the scoring charts right here, with a 9-car pack behind them. Double file. 4, 5 rows deep. McMillan Jr., we talked about him having a quiet night. Here he is, leading that outside lane, looking for the race lead once again. Darren Clement off of the lead lap for a moment. He is now back onto the lead lap, but leading that inside lane. And if you're Todd Cray right here, that's a teammate out front. You may be trying to keep your teammate out front. Final lap, let him move up the racetrack. Slow the roll of that outside lane. You got a little bit of a strategic roadblock for you. Oh, big moment here. Wimbish almost peaked to the inside. Oh, big move to the bottom. Huge move to the bottom. Everybody bailing now. Roy Fernandez going to keep it tucked up next to that outside wall, but everybody bailing on McMillan Jr., and he is going to drop like a rock. That is an interesting development here. And quickly going to jump right back to the high side, but this time with John Wimbish out front leading that line. 4 cars in tow. Interesting to see how everybody just jumped down and didn't want to be behind McMillan Jr. there. John Wimbish going to try his hand now as we work our way into turn number 3. 12 laps to go. 11 when we cross the line this time around. It is all on the line. It is all up for grabs from here. Burrows with a solid return here inside of the top 10. The 23 led a handful of laps with help from that teammate behind him. Dave Seats able to stay with him. Look for those 2 teammates to try to work together. How about the 2 teammates inside of the top 5? What about Keys? What about Branch? Running good here. Ooh, a little bit of a Magic Man moment. The Serve Pro 87 to have a little connection issue. He's going to get that worked out. A little bit of a worrisome moment for John McMillan Jr. Car right behind him. Cody Sleeper, Roy Fernandez, all in line here. Sleeper listed in the lucky dog position. He's got to tread lightly here because if there's trouble battling for this race lead in front of him, he cannot afford to be caught up. He cannot afford to be in it. "25 miles of racing remain in front of these Ayers Eye Racing Paints Xfinity Series drivers. Clean and green for the majority of tonight's race. Just one caution to slow things down to a crawl, and there it is. There's that move from Darren Clement. He's going to move up to the top of the racetrack. Block the run coming by Wimbish. Let the teammate by on the bottom. Now controlling both lines. You can't script it much better than this. But the question you got to ask yourself is this. Looking off of the rear deck lid, how long will that man behind the wheel of that 56 Valvoline machine be willing to wait without sticking the nose to the inside and putting Clement in a precarious situation? You can't afford to let the teammate make those blocks like that. We're going to see how it unfolds. How about Burrows now moving back to third? My goodness. We thought he had sealed his fate, but here it is. It's not over until that checkered flag flies, man. And I tell you what, great recovery here tonight for Bailey Dutton. An amazing job for that 28 Navy Celebrate Your Life sponsored machine in the field. The Fast Forward looking good. Had a bit of a moment mid-race, but able to recover well. Now battling for not just a spot inside of the top 10, not just a spot inside of the top 5, not just a podium spot, but potentially a race win here. They're going to have that outside lane is going to have to do away with Clement. They've got no choice. They have to somehow get around him, but in doing so, you're really opening up yourself to a potentially race-ending position. Unless these drivers fall back here and just get in line, that's the only way. There's the move. There's the move 3 wide. Outside lane working together. Look at that. Backed off. Let Wimbish have the room he needed to make the move. He's going to get it done. Contact between Sleeper and Keys. Whew. Getting a little dicey. But amazing job, man. That's how you work together to get a job done. Allowed Wimbish the room he needed to make some moves. Watched him do it. Went with him immediately. And quickly, they're going to do away with that 32 of Darren Clement. He's going to fall back to the tail end of this outside lane, and the longer he can stay side by side with Fernandez here, that will slow that outside lane down. For Fernandez just to drop to that inside lane. Looks like he's trying to stay to the high side here. Oh. And well, we talked about the teammates staying right there with him, but Burrows saw the opportunity. And when it comes knocking on the door, you kick that son of a gun in. I had to keep it PG there, but you kick it off of the hinges. Doing so, Burrows going to jump to the high side. High five from the boss man in the flag stand. We've got 5 laps to go here at Daytona International Super Speedway. The quick trip, 225, about to reach its final destination here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway. Big pack of cars here. 7 fighting for their lives for a race win. 5 out of those 7 fighting for their first win of the season. Just, I don't know. See, I'm looking back around that Navy-sponsored 28 machine. I've liked the run here tonight for Branch. We don't want to jinx him with that broadcaster's curse, but I'm liking the chances. I'm liking the opportunity. You can see bottom lane getting stacked up now. Big moment there as a huge push from McMillan Jr. on the tail end of the 14 gets him all sorts of out of shape. Darren Clement having to check up to not get into the back of the 15. So the inside lane struggling a little bit as we cross the line this time around 3 laps to go. Lap number 87 going to jump on the board. Or lap 88, we do apologize, going to jump on the board here. Oh, we got lap traffic. We got lap traffic right in front of the race leaders. They will run into this lap traffic before the end of tonight's race. Oh, big moment here. Big moment here. Out of shape, the 15, John McMillan Jr., all sorts of out of shape up the racetrack. Darren Clement going to cut him a break. Could have easily hooked him. We'll cross the line with the popsicle sticks on display. Now just 2 to go in the quick trip 225, brought to you by Ayers Eye Racing Paints. You're watching the Xfinity Series. This is what it's about. This is why the drivers showed up. They are trying to show out. We've got lap cars to the bottom. Todd Cray leads a single train at the top of the speedway. Oh, and we got trouble. Around goes Burrows. Caution will fly. Caution flag will fly. We're going to have ourselves a green, white, checkered. We're going to overtime here tonight at Daytona National Super Speedway. Let's see if we can't see what happens. There it is. Burrows just going to go around 14. Going to catch a piece of it. Oh, big lick there for Darren Clement. Cody Sleeper down on the apron trying to avoid everything. We had a feeling. We had a thought that it might happen. It could happen. It's Daytona. It's the end of the race. Drivers jockeying for positions. And things just going awry here at the front of the field. That's going to put us back behind the pace car for just the second time here tonight. But with this being said, with this being the second caution, with this being a green-white checkered attempt, you know the intensity is going to be there, right? You know drivers are going to be really amped up because they know this is the final chance. The aggression levels going to shoot up through the roof. There will be no give. It will be all take. It will all be about me, mine. And oh boy, we've got some varying strategies here. Todd Cray, John Wimbish, John McMillan Jr., all to pit road. Bailey Dutton, Jason Branch, Anthony Keys gonna stay out on the racetrack. And it looks like just a fuel-only stop for Todd Cray. May have been cutting it close on the fuel. John McMillan Jr. with a possible right side tire stop here. John Wimbish, a long stop here. And in the grand scheme of things, I mean, they're going to line up 5th, 6th, 7th for the restart. But I don't know. 2 laps to go. I know 5th isn't far to come from. But I don't know, man. You're coming to green, white, checkered at Daytona International Super Speedway. The prestige that comes along with the walking away with the checkered flag at the hallowed grounds of Daytona is almost second to none, right? So you got 5 miles to do it. When the green flag drops, it's take no prisoners. You've got to send it. Period. You don't lift. You can't. If you do, there's no way you're getting to the front. You only lift to miss the wreck. And you pray you're not in it. That's about all you can do. Little more concerned for the man front and center on screen. This 26 Toyota Supra has raced very well here tonight. It's been very quick. Looking to go back-to-back in this Xfinity Series. Looking to make it 4 wins in a row with Swift MotorSports. Back-to-back wins in the Truck Series. Went to victory lane last week here in the Xfinity Series. Can he make it 2 weeks in a row with 2 visits to victory lane? Bailey Dutton has got a tall task on his hands. He's got some amazing drivers that he's going to have to keep behind him. You can look no further than a man starting just to his outside. Jason Branch, seasoned veteran. Knows how to get the job done. Knows how to get to victory lane. Look for him to be a factor. How about Branch's teammate gonna line up inside row number 2? How willing will Anthony Keys be to push Dutton here in these final 2 laps? Tommy Haynes turning things around. Stayed out and looked to have his night done with, hanging on to the lead lap. He's going to restart in 4th. We know Cray's been fast. We know McMillan Jr. has been fast. Kevin Burrows, Wimbish, also quick here tonight. Will they be able to make a run from outside of the top 5? I don't know, but we fitting to find out. Business about to pick up as we come to the closing laps. The quick trip 225 into the restart zone on the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies as Dutton nails the loud pedal. No real advantage. We're going to keep the timing and scoring out of the way, trying to bring you all of the available action here on what could be the final restart. McMillan Jr. all over the rear deck lid of that 17 machine. The Prime Energy drink trying to push that Navy Ford to the front. Dutton doing all he can to stay out front. Todd Gray looking to make a third line here. Haynes dropping to the bottom, trying to cover his branch. He's not going to make it in time. Big moment here, stacking up the field. Gray looking to the outside. Todd Gray looking to the outside, 3 wide from third on back. We got trouble, 1 driver on the apron. 2-3 wide as the front of the field gonna cross the line. White flag flies. Final lap here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. The 1 to go here in the quick trip 225. Big run through the middle, big block by Dutton. John McMillan Jr. squeezing to the bottom. Dutton with another big block. 3 wide once again. Oh my gosh, the action at the front, in trouble. Trouble, big trouble here. Bailey Dutton gets through. John Wimbish gets through. Tommy Haynes gonna crash. Haynes into the outside wall. Cody Sleeper moves to third. Ooh, big trouble. In 3 and 4, still battling for the race lead on the front stretch. Biggs blocks by Dutton. He gets it done. Bailey Dutton gets it done. I don't know how many blocks he made right there, but he made some of the biggest blocks we have seen. I know what some of you might be thinking. Look at the carnage it caused, but it's restrictor plate racing in the checkered flag is the next thing we're going to see. Amazing job. Let's go back here, take a look. Oh my gosh. And we get right to it. Todd Gray, big lick. Oh my goodness. Tons of drivers in this one. Oh my gosh. Big lick through 3 and 4 for a lot of guys, but this man right here gonna come out of it smelling like roses on the front stretch. Gonna have himself a little bit of a post-race celebration smoke show in store for the fans in the stands. Yet another sold-out packed house here for Swift MotorSports Ayers Eye Racing Paints. Xfinity Series walking away with the race win, second one in a row. Bailey Dutton gonna finish in front of this field. And we're gonna take this opportunity to step away, set up our post-race show. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the conclusion of a crazy end here tonight for the Quick Trip 225. A late race caution brought the field together under green, white checkered conditions. A little crazy final lap there as well. Coming out of it, smelling like roses, man. Coming out on top after early trouble here tonight. Let's dive right into these post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't dial up the man behind the wheel of that 01 machine. Cody, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, we had a little moment to catch up with each other before coming back live on air. We talked about the little mishap coming to pit road. Walked the fans through a little bit how that happened and how you were able to recover here tonight.
Yeah, that was that one definitely was one of those tongue-in-cheek bite down on it and just kind of accept it. But just came into the pits on that first green flag pit stop a little too hot, behind some teammates, and it was either hit the teammate or just kind of try to avoid it and take the penalty coming onto pit road, or missing pit road rather. But thankfully, I mean, somehow was able to make it back up with that late caution, getting lucky dog. A lot of events had to happen to get into this third place spot.
Well, Cody, you've been quick over the course of the first 2 weeks. You were quick here tonight, early in tonight's race before that mishap on pit road. Does it feel good to finally get that finish that you probably should have had?
Yeah, a little bit of luck. Daytona is that track where if you're gonna have luck on your side, you definitely want to have it at Daytona. So yeah, it definitely feels good, and yeah, looking to carry this third place hopefully into next week, and just kind of continue on this momentum. The last couple weeks, we had a good week at Las Vegas and lucked out here. So
Well, man, another fine run for you behind the wheel, walking away with some great points. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
yeah, absolutely. So first, just got to thank Justin and everybody that's involved with the league. From the admins to the other drivers that are in the league. Everybody's pretty respectable with each other. Got to thank Roy, Jason, and Anthony, and just the guys that we were teaming up with for tonight. And I think that's really about it. Besides, always got to thank you for putting on a good show for us.
Well, Cody, I know your fellow competitors and the admins appreciate the kind words. Us here at the Turn 3 Network, we definitely appreciate the kind words. Always a class act. Always a pleasure catching up with you at the end of these things. So until next time, my friend, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave. You too.
All right, there you go. Final words for the band that walks away third here tonight. Cody Sleeper gonna have an eventful race, gonna have an eventful final 2 laps, and gonna walk away with the third position. That's gonna move us right along in our post-race show. Let's see if we can dial up the man behind the wheel of that number 56 Valvoline machine. John, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
I feel okay. A little upset with myself about a couple of incidents there, but it's Daytona, man. We talked about it beforehand. You got to kind of go at the end here. So I'm all right with it.
Yeah, I mean, coming to the end, it's white flag. Some of the greatest have said it that, they'll move anybody. They'd wreck their mom for a checkered flag. If you're a Tony Stewart fan, I know you know that quote. But nonetheless, John, things happen, things go down, and you were racing for a race win. You were fast all night here tonight. Does it feel good to walk away with the finish that you and that 56 team deserve? You've been quick so far the first 2 weeks of the season. Now finally walking away with a good points day.
Yeah, we got a good podium here, so I'm happy about that. And just look forward to the next couple of weeks here and put this one behind us and start focusing on what we got coming up.
Well, John, an amazing job here tonight from Daytona International Super Speedway. Before we let you go and hang up the helmet for the evening, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, just thanks to everybody in the league. Everybody does a real good job here. Again, I want to apologize to the 15 there for the shove at the end. It's hard to control your car when you don't have the back end on the ground. So um, hate that happened. But other than that, we're happy with it, and we appreciate you guys putting this on for everybody to watch it and for us to go back and see what we did right or what we did wrong.
Well, a lot went down over the course of the last handful of laps. John, you walk away from this thing with a great points day. You can hang your hat on that one. The Valvoline 56 going to walk away with second. So until next time, my man, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, there you go. Final few words from the North Carolina native behind the wheel of that Valvoline number 56. John Wimbish going to walk away with second here tonight. And we're going to move now right into victory lane. The man needs no introduction. He's been here before, back-to-back this week, back-to-back in the Xfinity Series. Bailey, I'm going to just put a chair with your name on it at this point, man. What's going on?
Wish I could tell you. That was wild. I should have lost that about 4 different ways.
Well, let's talk about things first here. Beginning of tonight's race, you kind of just hung out in the back. It looked like that was kind of the plan from the drop of the green flag. Was that indeed the plan for that 26 crew to just kind of hang out back there until the round of pit stops began?
Yeah, we were just planning on hanging out in the back and kind of waiting on the end of the race, waiting for honestly a caution, which it looks like we weren't going to get for a little while. So that plan almost backfired, and we ended up losing the draft, and that was one of the ways I should have lost. But we got spread out, and I think Todd and Darren got about 14 or 15 seconds ahead of us, or something like that, something crazy, and pretty much it was a race for third. And luckily for me, the caution came out, and it gave me another chance.
Well, the timely caution did bring the field back together. Let's talk about that final caution, though. You're up there, right there for the race lead. Caution comes out, 2 to go. What goes through your mind?
A lot of praying going on because things get wild with 2 to go.
Especially here at Daytona. A little bit of a crazy finish, too. Big carnage through 1 and 2. You were able to navigate your way through that, or I should say out of turn 2 and going into 3. Some big moves on the final lap. You're comfortable with the moves you made?
Yeah, I feel like they were pretty clean. I feel like I tried not to do anyone dirty there coming to the end. I'd like to just secure just a good finish at Daytona because that's hard to come by as well. So I tried to make moves with enough time for people to adjust, and I feel like I did that pretty well.
Well, man, either way, it created an exciting finish to tonight's Quick Trip 225. So congratulations on your second win in a row behind the wheel of this Xfinity ride. Your 4th win altogether here in the Truck Series, as well as Xfinity during season number 6. So you're on a roll. You're on a tear. You know how we do things, so we're going to back up, and, well, Mike's yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Performance Motorsports, Assassin Motorsports, Reaper Speed Lab, you for putting the broadcast on, Swift for making this league happen. Again, shout out to Jess. I saw the comment. And also them for watching. I've won every race that she's watched, so maybe that's what's going on.
Well,
like a little lucky charm there.
Well, I think I don't know. I think you and Todd might have to box for her favorite driver now. I think if we get that on tape, I think it's going to be golden. World Star, baby.
Uh-oh.
Bailey, an amazing job, an amazing run here tonight, man. Walking away with yet another race win. You're going to separate yourself in the points early here this season. Going to have a comfortable lead walking into week 4. Enjoy this race win until we see you next Monday night. Stay safe, and of course, I know you will, but keep that, well, I don't know, you might need to slow it down for these guys. No, just kidding. Keep that thing fast, my man.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you go. Final few words from Bailey Dutton. Walking away. Second race win in 3 weeks behind the wheel of the Xfinity Series. Teammates dominating this Xfinity season so far. Only Cray and Dutton to victory lane. You can't ask for much more out of a team stable of drivers. But Dutton gonna get the job done here tonight. From the back to the front, once again in victory lane. And we may just start calling this the Dutton post race show. Guys, I'm challenging you. Not a shot at you. I'm challenging you, man. You gotta get him out of here. He's getting a little too comfortable up here in the booth with us. I like the guy, but man, I need some other company. All jokes aside, an amazing night, an amazing run. 2 cautions, 90 laps of racing, 225 miles behind us here with the Swift MotorSports Airs iRacing Paints Xfinity Series. What a night, what a ride. We're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, but before we do, you know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down your unofficial race results here in the Quick Trip 225, brought to you by Airs iRacing Paints in partnership with Swift. Bailey Dutton gonna walk away with yet another checkered flag. John Wimbish gonna bring the 56 home to second. Cody Sleeper gonna slide home in the final podium position. Fourth place tonight belongs to Tommy Haynes. Kevin Burrows will finish out your top 5. Sliding home in 6th tonight, the 22 of Todd Cray. 7th from Daytona, John McMillan Jr. with Jason Branch right behind him in 8th. 9th place tonight belongs to the 87 Serve Pro machine of Anthony Keys. Stephen Ayers Jr. will finish out your top 10. McMillan Sr. back in 11th, Darren Clement back in 12th, 13th tonight to Gary Bay. 14th from Daytona belongs to the 14 machine of Dave Seats. Logan Romney back in 15th, followed by the Cuban Missile Rocket Roy Fernandez, finishing in 16th tonight. Ray Lane, the Hyper Drive Racing 44, has troubles, finishes in 17th. Brandon Fries back in 18th, 19th tonight from Daytona. Jerry Cochran III, and Shane Bliss will finish out the 20-car field. What a night, what a race. We're about done. But before we go, remember to join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love. Drop the thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So stay safe. Stay loved, my friends. And until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.